Welcome back, 7:48 on Daybreak, and today marks 4 years since one of the darkest days in Buffalo's history. The impact of the Tops mass shooting lives on to this day and will continue to live on. 10 people, all of whom were black, were shot and killed while simply shopping for groceries and basic needs. The tragedy has left the East Side community permanently scarred. And right now we're hearing from someone who's in the community each and every day trying to help residents in the community move forward. Joining me now is Buffalo Common Council Majority Leader Leah Halton-Pope. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
On this very special and dark day in our community. So what does this day mean for you, and why is it important that all Buffalonians and Western New Yorkers remember what happened on this day?
It's a somber day, and it's not one that it's not just today. I think this is something that we carry with us for the last 4 years. It's in our community, Tops that is, and it's where we shop on a regular basis. Some of us, I shop there intentionally because I don't want it to be a place that traumatizes me on a regular basis, but it does for other people, and so we carry it. But today, I think it's critically important that we remember those individuals that we lost, those individuals that were injured, and the permanent trauma that our community members, the workers in the community felt. And we decided to also make this a day of action.
To have purpose come out of that pain and triumph come out of that tragedy. You're leaving here and going to some community service yourself. What's happening today for you?
Yeah, so I partnered with Clementine Gold last year based on, we just had a simple conversation last year, maybe in 2 weeks, and we had about 75 volunteers that signed up, and we talked to as many of the victims' families as we could at the time to make sure that we provided them with, to ask them, would it be okay if we recognize your family? How would you like us to recognize your family through acts of service? And those that we talked to gave us some ideas, and that's what we ran with. This year, I believe there were about 600 volunteers signed up, which is quite incredible. We also did a day, I did a resolution for a day of service at Lake City Hall to be closed. I started it last year. I did it again because we have a new administration now. And hoping that our constituents, because we already are doing this is a city of good neighbors.
Right.
And making sure that we get out and be intentional today. So while we remember those that we've lost, while we remember some of the trauma that we've all been going through and still living through and still see every single day, that we turn that into action and continue to support one another in various ways. And so there's
not just about today on 5/14,
it's every day.
We need to keep moving forward because I think 5/14 revealed so many disparities in our community that can't be fixed with one anniversary from years to come. But every single day, it's your job, the city's job, and the people's job to turn this part of the city and the city as a whole around.
Yeah, and we have a lot to do. We have not finished any of the stuff that we've started. I've been on the council now, this will be year 3. And it's been a very intentional process for me. You know, Tops is in the Ellicott district, and we're starting to finally start to sell some of the lots that have been vacant over there and rebuilding our communities, focusing on rebuilding and strengthening our small businesses, and being really intentional from a governmental perspective, but then also strengthening community members. And so every month, Ellicott gets together for a stakeholders meeting, and we talk about and we started casting a vision about what we wanted to see for our district, but not just our district, the city as a whole. And so while we're even in this budget process and thinking through those lives that are being impacted by the decisions that we make on a governmental level, this is part of how we move forward and taking care of one another, especially our most vulnerable.
Now, we do know that your name has been tossed in there to replace Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples-Stokes, who you've worked for, you have quite the relationship with, and she's done so much for Buffalo from a state level. If you move on to that and now you represent Buffalo on a state level, what more can you do to make sure that Buffalo gets the attention that it needs and the funding that it needs to turn around the East Side?
So honestly, a lot of the policies that I've put in place, even in this position, require state intervention, from tax circuit breakers to protect those individuals to be able to stay into their homes by making sure that they don't get taxed out of their neighborhoods, low income and generational homeowners. That requires the state to intervene. Some other policies, I really want to deal with food insecurities from a different perspective, dealing with affordable housing, and those issues are important, but right now, financially, we're strapped, and so I'll be able to continue a lot of the work that she's already started. I don't believe that you can replace anybody in her shoes. I can't fill those, but I can walk in some footprints and then leave some for the next person after me. Yeah. But like I'll represent Ellicott, and then all of Maston, all of University, most of Lovejoy, most of Fillmore, and a good portion of Delaware, and a small portion of North. So it'll allow me to take my city experience now back to the state where I came from and do some work. But today is about remembering, today is about taking action, today is about making sure that we are putting our money where our mouths are. We've had a lot of supporters to come out. We've had Clementine Gold has received a tremendous amount of funding to allow us to do all of this great work today. And I'm so excited for the volunteers that have signed up, and I hope next year is even bigger. Yeah,
great work today, and it'll be great work for years to come.
Congresswoman.
Congresswoman, not yet. Common Council Majority Leader Leah Halton-Pope, thank you so much for being here today. We'll be right back.